Welcome, beautiful, to the Creating Change podcast with Emma Bradford. Creating change to fall back in love with ourselves and life. Each episode, I'll be offering insightful stories, concepts, and practical takeaways to inspire your day, reconnecting to the authentic essence within. Are you ready, lovely, to embrace yourself even more and awaken to the magic life has to offer? Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of Creating Change with Emma Bradford. Thank you for joining me. So wonderful to have you here. Thank you for listening and tuning in every 2 weeks. These episodes come out each fortnight, and it's been quite a journey making all these episodes. I've certainly learned a lot. I've learned all about how to make the best sound space to record all these episodes. If you would see me right now, you would probably laugh. Plenty of blankets and clothes and cushions around to absorb all the sounds. And every now and again, I need to pause for the neighbours or motorbikes. It's been quite a journey, and I found it very healing too. Also, like using this platform to share and communicate, use my voice, and really have something consistent, have something regular that comes out at a fortnightly schedule. This is something that has been very good to have that commitment and to continue bringing out stuff for all of you. So thank you for tuning in and really making this even more enjoyable, knowing that there are people enjoying these episodes and giving their insights and feedback on what they've learned and what they've been able to uncover themselves by listening to these episodes. So thank you so much. And if you have any specific questions or topics that you would like me to cover, then do get in contact, info@emmabradford.net. I do give my email address out more than social media because I do limit my time on social media. I'm not on Instagram or Facebook all the time. That's something that I've purposely chosen to do, even though I know a lot of people like those platforms. The energies of those platforms don't feel fully aligned to me. So I do have a Telegram channel, and also you can email me anytime with any questions or queries. And I love to hear from you. In today's episode, I want to talk about 2 vital things that can really help us navigate today's world. We're going through some pretty big challenges. I mean, we have been for many years, but especially the last 2 years, it's been really, really tough for some people. And there's been a lot going on. There's a lot of anger, frustration, grief coming up. People have lost loved ones. People have lost jobs. People have been ill themselves. It's been a real wake-up call for humanity and really important time of reevaluating how we live, really being mindful about what's important in our life and how we want to live our life and continue living our life. So there's a couple of things that I've found incredibly useful in navigating these times. These 2 things have been my go-to. So in those moments where I have felt overwhelmed or frustrated or angry or sad or hurt or fearful, and yes, I feel all those things too. Some people put me up on a pedestal and think that I have everything sorted. No, that's far from it. I have lots of tools and techniques that I use that help me navigate those challenging times, though I still experience challenging times like anyone here on this human planet. We're going through ups and downs because that's part of life. That's how we grow and evolve and learn. So the 2 areas that I found incredibly useful, and I use the metaphor of the masculine and feminine energies, though it's not essential to focus on that metaphor to understand these 2 important aspects. And when I talk about masculine and feminine energies, I'm not talking about genders. This has nothing to do with genders. This is talking about the two polarities that are within the universe, the expansion and then the going in within. So this can be viewed in virtually everything in the whole universe. If we notice our pupils when they dilate and then they return, our digestive system, our lungs when we inhale and we exhale, that's a form of expansion and then going back within. Everything within this planet, there are these polarities. This is the planet of polarities. We have hot, cold, night, day. This is so we can really appreciate each one and really fully learn about each one by having a complete contrast. Now, some people consider the masculine and feminine energies in terms of we have the consciousness, the masculine consciousness, the container, and then we have the feminine energy that runs through that. So we've got the space, and then we have the energy that runs through that. There are many different layers and perspectives on this. I won't go into all the details here, and you can explore more about this in your own time online. There are many different articles and topics on this and many different perspectives on this, and find what resonates for you. So simply just to talk about this awareness and then also the manifestation, the expression of that awareness, I see it as like the divine father and the divine mother. So for me, that is connecting to this greater consciousness, this collective consciousness, and also connecting to the divine mother, who I consider as planet Earth, this beautiful Mother Earth that we have. Now, those are just labels that I've attached to that. That's just what works for me. And it's not to say that that is the 100% truth. That's just what works for me. And you may have another truth. That's the thing. Truth is a sphere. That's what my teacher used to say. Truth is a sphere. And there are many different angles of the one greater truth. There's no 100% right truth in terms of from what comes from a human perspective. We all have our own little snippets of that, and a lot of our truth is based on our blueprint and on our mindset and our filters. So considering these two aspects, simply put, what I'm talking about of two things that I've found so important is connecting to something beyond my identity, something much greater than the identity of Emma. So whatever label you want to put on that, whether that's God or the universe or the divine or the quantum field, and also connecting to the divine expression of that nature. So breaking it down even further, the two vital things that I find incredibly important during this time that we're living is having some form of spiritual practice, whether that's a simple meditation, mindfulness, connecting to something far greater than the identity, the I. So perhaps that's recognizing the life that's within you, that inhale, that exhale. Perhaps that's reciting some mantras that resonate for you. Perhaps that's creating your own spiritual practice, whatever that is. Finding something that you can step out of the personality and the I and really recognize this collective energy, this greater living being that lives within everything and everyone. And start uncovering like what spirituality is for you. I'm not talking about organized religions here. I'm talking about your truth, your internal truth, what life is and who you are and what this is all about. And we don't need to find all the answers, simply just having a moment to consider that and ask questions and sit with that. Observe and be aware of what is the life that surrounds us. This can be an incredible source of comfort during these times. And the divine feminine, Mother Nature. Nature has been one of my biggest healers, my biggest go-tos. Especially in the last couple of years, I've literally found so much comfort and healing being in nature, walking through the forest, being amongst the pine trees, sitting on the beach, sitting on the rocks, observing the beauty of the waves, listening to the birdsong, smelling the sweet flowers. All these things I've found incredibly healing. And also, this can be incredibly useful when we're in a time where there's increased technology and increased radiation from that technology. Some people are affected by this and some people aren't so much. When we're in nature, we're able to connect to the negative ions. Negative ions are actually very healing and restorative for the human body. So when we're actually in nature, we're helping the human body to really restore to its natural healing state. So getting out in nature and connecting to nature, I try to do this every day, even if it's just for half an hour. Every day I'm out in nature in some way. And some of you who live in cities, you may find that a little bit more challenging, though nothing is impossible. As Audrey Hepburn says, nothing's impossible. Even just by sitting near a tree or observing a bird in the park, you can connect to nature. So those two vital keys in navigating today's world, connecting to some form of spiritual practice, connecting to something beyond our identity, and connecting to the Divine Mother, connecting to nature. So with those two things, it's like when we actively reconnect to those things, we're learning how to reparent ourselves and take responsibility and really start creating a healing environment for ourselves, feel supported, grounded, comforted, and so much more. So I'd love to hear where your favorite places are in nature, or what spiritual practices you have, or what your favorite mindfulness or meditation practices are. There are so many different ways to go about this. I'd love to hear. So you can send me an email, info@emmabradford.net, or connect to me on social media. And I'm wishing you so much love. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, beautiful. You're amazing. All resources and links can be found on my website, www.emmabradford.net. Link is in the show description. Do come and join my community and share your takeaways from this episode. I'd really love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I wonder, what magic will you experience in life today?